9 to 5 got me feeling like I'm 95. Feels like my world is soon to crash like 1999. They say that God has got my back, I'm seeking vital signs. I want my bank to look like Kylie Jenner, mighty fine.
What's going on, world? Your girl DJ MK in here tonight. Happy Sunday. Listen, hanging out tonight, my girl Brittany Elise, special guest Nino Blu. What's up, Nino?
Hey, what's up? Orlando, what's up? Back
that's
home.
right. He's back home team back, and you gonna hang out with us tonight and count down some songs?
Yeah, I'm down.
And we're gonna talk about some things.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll talk about.
Yeah, I am extremely happy. I'm here to talk about whatever y'all want. This is my first big interview since everything, actually in a long time. So I'm here, you know, I don't got any media training, so.
All right, cool. Well, we gonna do it tonight. Listen, coming in right now, Michael Made It, Pharrell, and Kendrick Lamar with the mantra.
You wish I don't remember shit, cause you were in the haters club and even had a membership. Now you playing innocent, don't blow me when the ship is sailed. And ain't nobody sicker, it's in my blood like a sicker cell.
Top 20 Countdown show going down right now. Got my homie in here tonight, Nino Blu. What's up, Nino?
Yo, what's up, MK? What's up?
Listen, you've been doing a lot of things since you left to go to New York.
Yes.
You know, you're from Orlando. You've been out here putting out music, being an artist for a minute, and something super, I guess, I don't even know how to describe it, happened to you while you were living up there. Like short version, tell the people who you met, and then we gonna keep them hanging on what actually went down.
All right. So basically, I mean, it all kind of starts with like a Charlemagne the God internship kind of situation. Shout out to Charlemagne and Wax and everybody, you know, back up in New York. You know, I feel like everything happens for a reason, and through me going out there, pursuing that, I ended up coming across Kanye West, and that ended up being one of my biggest moments of my life, you know? Definitely the most fulfilling moment of my life, you know?
Listen, so many artists, that's like a dream of theirs to even come in contact with Kanye West ever. He's like one of the illest producers of our time. He's like certainly a GOAT, even though, you know, a lot of other craziness he's got going on, but music-wise, he's a genius, and we're going to talk about tonight, like what it was like meeting Kanye, hanging out, and your whole situation after this.
My name's Nino Blu, B-L-U, no E at the end, Nino Blu, and I'm here with Kanye West. And my birthday was the other day, and I just became homeless because the guy of the place I was living with was a little crazy, and I'm out here on the street, and Kanye's bringing me into the studio right now. He heard me rap, he let me rap to him.
Top 20 Countdown, your girl DJ MK in here tonight, hanging out with my girl Brittany Elise, Nino Blu. Nino, I know you popping now.
I mean, like, we definitely made some progress.
Made some progress
over the course of these months. So I feel like there's a long way to go still. You know,
you got the little babies in your DM now.
Yeah, but but you know, I'm always like a gentleman. You know, I'm always like I'm like a lover boy at the same time. You know, I'm not like really into all that stuff. I'm really into like courtship, and like I was raised by my mom, you know, for the majority of my life. You know, shout out to my dad.
So he's a rapper,
you know?
and a gentleman. I already appreciate you, Nino.
He pulled up with flowers.
How appropriate was that? Thank you for my flowers. Listen, men need to take heed from a man, Nino Blu.
I'm trying to make a fortune, minus what ain't important, double on my endorsements. Get ahead like I'm the headless horseman. Stack my bread even if it's extortion. The ex I'm fuck with my endorphins, but I can't cut my baby off. No, I'm not pro-abortion.
Top 20 Countdown on 104.5 The Beat, O-Town's #1 and only for hip hop and R&B. It's DJ MK, Brittany Elise, Nino Blu. We talking all this goodness, all this craziness that went down. Like, I'm not gonna lie, Nino, when I remember opening up my phone that day and seeing not only you post it, but Kanye West post this picture of you guys, this video of you guys on Instagram, like, I really thought I was dreaming. I was like, how in the world?
It was the craziest thing ever.
I mean, it's just like, you know, it's a long story. I mean, I'll try to like sum it up to like the smallest version or whatever, but I basically went out to New York because I wanted to get an internship with Charlemagne, and that didn't work out. As soon as I got there, it was like he had his own personal things that he was going through, and it pushed everything back. And I kind of had already made a concrete decision to move out there. I was like, I quit my job in Orlando, I moved all my stuff, I drove out there, and it was just kind of like disheartening that it all happened. So I felt like, man, like I'm just going to stay out here for like, you know, 5 months or however long it takes until like something happens, you know. And, you know, he was just like, all right, you know, like I can still give you advice here and there, you know, maybe like 3 times a week, we could just talk real fast or whatever, but that was it. And I was just kind of just out there, just going to every radio station, going to every single club, you know, everything I could do. And nothing was happening, you know. I was almost like getting really discouraged, and I was telling myself like, I think I'm gonna, you know, maybe stop music, you know, because at a point you gotta like think to yourself like, it's like, yo, like what's gonna happen next, you know, you get older and stuff. And then my car breaks down. My clutch burns out. The mechanic is like, it's gonna be $1,000 to fix. I don't have $1,000. And then the landlord situation. I was living in Queens. He was just rough, you know, like just angered, temperamental dude, and I got kicked out 3 days after my car had broke down. So I can't just drive back to my mom's house in Orlando because like I'm not gonna leave my car and all my belongings and stuff, and I didn't know what was gonna happen, so I ended up not having a place to stay for like 6 days.
And where was your car? You had your car with you, it just wasn't working?
It wasn't working, and I didn't pay $1,000 to get it fixed. I didn't have that, and my car was how I was making money. I was doing Uber in Jersey and stuff, so I was like losing money every single day. I didn't have money to fix my car. I was just like looking at the sky like, what's going on, God? Like, how is this like
what
happening?
Is this supposed to show me? Where's the lesson?
And my birthday was happening too. Like, my birthday was like in the midst of all that. I was like, had no place to stay. Going midnight into my birthday, I was sleeping on a sleeping bag in the Port Authority bus terminal in Manhattan on the lower floor, because people would wait for their buses overnight, and I felt like that would be the safest spot for me to be.
Because people would always be there.
Yeah, or I would sleep in the Planet Fitness locker room and stuff. It was just like things, little tricks I found out to be safe in New York or whatever that I, like, you know. So I'm over here looking at the sky and like thinking to myself like, wow, like, why is this happening? Like, you know, I was telling my friends and everyone like, usually sometimes good things happen when I take a risk, but this time it just felt like my whole world was crashing down on me. And then I know some people like in Drake's camp for years now, you know, for years, and I've gained a relationship with some of them. And
yeah, I remember when you came through a couple of years ago, you had been hanging out with some of the OVO people.
Yeah, and super kind people. Shout out to my boy OVO Ryan and Future the Prince and a lot of the other people that are out there and stuff. Like, I love those guys. And so when they came to New York for the Drake and Migos concert, I was blessed enough where, you know, they would bring me inside the concert. I would get front row, like in the front row, everything. You know, he actually gave me these shoes. Drake's manager gave me these shoes and stuff.
That's dope.
Yeah, and so outside of these concerts, I ran to this photographer, and I just got his Instagram, just like whatever, just talking real quick, and then I'll go inside the concert. And I then just let it go. I say bye to Drake's manager. He gives me some advice like, hey, man, you know, just keep it up, and just like, you know, whatever's meant to be will be meant to be, you know? And I get up in my situation where I have no place to live. I go on Instagram and I see this photographer take a picture of Kanye at a fashion show. So I just like hit him up, just like kind of just spur of the moment. No place to live, whatever. I was like, man, like, I hear he's gonna be in New York for Saturday Night Live. Can you like just give me the heads up, like where I could possibly give him like my demo or something? And he's like, I don't give free information, bro. Like, I'm sorry, you know, I don't do that. You know, he's like, check Prince Street. That's the only thing I'm gonna tell you. And so there's
say it again. Check Prince Street.
Prince Street.
Prince Street.
And
okay.
so like I was, you remember, I'm networking with Charlemagne and everyone throughout this whole time. There's a hotel next door to the radio station called the Roxy. I started getting friends with the people, workers there, the waiters and the doormen and stuff. Very kind people. Shout out to Donald and Leo and stuff. And so Donald saw me with my sleeping bag, and my grandparents were coming to visit me just for one day, and they were going to go fly to Peru. And he said, just leave your sleeping bag with me and come pick it up later. So when I got the information from that dude, check Prince Street, I was picking up my sleeping bag from the Roxy Hotel door guy, and when I picked it up to go sleep in the bus terminal, I checked where Prince Street was, and it was like 9 minutes walking. So I just decided to go. And I walked over there, and I see...
You walked with your sleeping bag?
With my sleeping bag. It wasn't a bag. It wasn't like...
No,
just
I
had like this like little like crappy little bag or whatever, and like I just like walked over there, and I see Mike Dean, and then it was Kanye's producer or whatever. He's worked on like Travis Scott stuff and stuff. And I see Kid Cudi. So I'm like, okay, I feel like I'm kind of like in the right
He's somewhere
area,
in the vicinity,
you know?
yes.
And so like I talked to Mike Dean, and he ends up like just giving me some advice and like, yo man, I think, you know, whatever you're going through, you know, it's all gonna work out, whatever. And then Kanye and Kim pull up, and they walk into this building, and they weren't going to talk to anyone. There was already like people around, paparazzi, whatever, and they just walked in.
Of course.
And so I was like, oh dang, there goes that, you know? And it was already late. It was like maybe 3 in the morning or whatever, and so I just walked down the street. I was exhausted, and I just said, you know what, I'm just going to just like crash like on the side of this building, like blocks down. So I crash, I wake up at like 7 in the morning, and I walk past the building that I walked by earlier last night, and I see people with graduation, late registration vinyls and stuff, and I'm like, yo, he's still here. And they're like, yeah, he's about to walk out right now.
This is 7 o'clock in the morning.
It was like 7 in the morning. As I'm like just giving up, I'm like, oh, well, you know, that was it, you know? And then I see these guys with vinyls. He's like, yo, he's about to walk out. And he did, right then and there. He walks out, signs like a couple people's stuff. They leave. He has no security or anything at all. No one's there. It's just him. And I just look at him and I'm like, yo, you're one of my biggest inspirations, and I'm really down on my luck. Like, I just kind of just lost everything, and I just want to rap to you and just see what you think. And he said, go for it. And so I rapped to him.
That's all he said was just go for it?
Yeah, go for it, you know? So I take out this blue speaker that I bought for like $19 or whatever, and I put the Lift Yourself beat on. I put the Lift Your Poopity Scoop beat or whatever.
Yes.
I put that on, and I started doing this verse that I had already a long time ago to it. And he looks at me, and he's just like bobbing his head, and he's just like, I like your energy. And then he's like, let's sit down real quick. So we sit down on this bench like me and Brittany are right now. He's right here, I'm on the left side. And I tell him everything. I tell him like, yo, I came out here for an internship with Charlamagne. It didn't really work out, you know, and he's waiting for his car. He's actually trying to video FaceTime Charlamagne as I'm telling the story. He's like, oh, I know him, you know, and he didn't pick up. And so I asked him, you know, can I rap to you again while we're waiting for your car? And so I put another beat on, I do 2 more verses, and then I tell him, you know, I actually met him 5 years ago outside of a Yeezus concert.
Wow.
My friend invited me to a Yeezus concert, and I met him, and I actually rapped to him there for 12 minutes. That was 5 years ago, straight. And he told me at that moment to keep rapping. I'm listening to you, keep going. So I kept going with more verses. So I reminded him about that. You know, 5 years ago, I met you outside a Yeezus concert in Tampa, and you told me to keep rapping to you when I stopped, and I rapped to you, and he's like, I remember you. I remember that. I remember what I told you.
That's
I told you I'm listening to you. And then he just looks at me, just like, what are you doing today? I'm like, nothing. He's like, all right, cool. You can come with me. I hop in the car. Put your stuff in the back seat and hop in the front seat. And I'm just like, what's going on?
What car? This is like an Uber car?
It's like an Uber car. This is like an Uber car, it seemed like. Because it wasn't. The crazy thing is, he told me, he's like, my car was late. His car was late, so he had to sit there and wait. His car was taking forever. Has to get an Uber car. And I go in the front seat, and I'm just looking out the window. And I'm just like, what's going on? I'm just like, I'm just looking at God, you know, looking at the sky like, is this happening right now? And then I look in the rear view mirror, and I'm like, yep, that's Kanye sitting right behind me. He's right behind me. And I just look at the driver, and I'm like, how's your day going? You know, like, how
Can't
how
be
are
any
you
better
doing?
than mine just started.
And I just wait for him to say something to me. I'm like in shock at this point. I'm just looking out the window, kind of just like, I felt like I was in a movie almost, you know, and he just looks at me, he like talks to me, he's like, yo, Nino, I want to, you know, show you some beats and stuff, I want to, you know, go to the studio with you and stuff. I just want to show you some beats, and I want to show you some music. And I'm like, cool. You know, I'm just like,
right.
I'm like, this can't be happening, you know, like, I don't know how. And we walk out the car, I'm thinking the whole time we're going to Saturday Night Live. The whole time, because he had Saturday Night Live that night. So I thought he was just going to, like, bring me to the Saturday Night Live studio. I was going to be, like, in the audience. I was going to be in the audience or something, and just, you know, he's going to show me a good time or something. And then he puts his phone to me and is like, you know, tell everybody what happened to you. You know, what's going on right now. And I kind of just said, like, yo, I just became homeless. I just rapped to Kanye. Kanye's bringing me into the studio right now, and gave, like, this speech to, like, any upcoming artist or anyone out there that has a dream to just keep going. Because I just really was in complete shock. You can just tell in the video, I'm, like, looking away from the camera because I'm looking at the sky, like, trying to get my words together. Like, God, like, what's going on? Like, help me with these words right now.
You know, it's so crazy, not to cut you off, but, like, I remember, like, watching the video and hearing what you said, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, he said that perfect. Like, it, you know what I'm saying? It was, you said it perfectly, like, to what you were experiencing. It wasn't like you were nervous. You were just like, man, I'm here right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm here right now. If you guys got a dream, like, don't let it go no matter what. I just became homeless. I'm in my car. Like, you were giving your testimony as it was, like, happening. I remember watching that video, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, I was so proud of you just for how, like, you just handled it in your head. Like, it was very good. But go on.
No, thank you so much. Because, like, really it was one of those things where it was, like, a testimony to God, you know? It was, like, my worst moment ever. And so it's funny that you say it was perfect, because right when I was finished, he was like, that's perfect, because Instagram is only 1 minute. And I'm like, what did you just say? And then, like, so I didn't know what he was going to do with that footage. So we walk into this building. I'm still, like, so like in shock that like I think we're still going to Saturday Night Live. I'm like, why would Saturday Night Live do in this random building, like on the street or whatever? So we go deeper into this building. Next thing you know, I see the dashboards, I see the speakers, I see everything, and I'm like, oh wow, we're in this guy's studio right now. And he just sits down and he starts eating the soup and smoothies or whatever, and he's like, yo, like, we're gonna get you something to eat, so you want something to eat? I'm like, yeah, you know, let's
not saying no.
Yeah, and
definitely yes.
And he introduces me to everyone, and it's like he just starts playing me the album, starts playing me Yandi, like everything. He played me everything. He played me features, he played me beats, he showed me concepts, he told me the concepts of the songs, he made me feel important to everyone that walked in the room. Some really big artists walked in the room, and I mean, I don't want to say because I don't want to give away his features and stuff, but like he was like, yo man, this is Nino, he's a rapper. He raps, and he's born the same day as Lil Wayne, because Lil Wayne was calling or something, and they were going to call Lil Wayne because his birthday, remember, our birthdays had just passed. It was literally, my birthday was 2 days before this happened, so it felt like a big birthday gift or something. So then I'm over here eating my soup, drinking my smoothie with Kanye, and then he starts playing Guardians of the Galaxy on this big screen TV as Yanni is playing. And he looks at me and he's just like, yo, Nino, like, we're the Guardians. Like, we're the Guardians of the Galaxy. And it was funny because I had this, like, inside joke with Charlemagne that, like, since I was trying to get an internship with Charlemagne, there's a movie, Spider-Man, where Spider-Man wanted to get an internship with Iron Man. So he always viewed himself as Iron Man, and I always viewed myself as Spider-Man. So I was always telling him, like, yo, you're kind of like Iron Man, Spider-Man, you know? Like, and then I looked at Kanye like, yo, it's like, you know Charlemagne, you know me. It's like, it's kind of funny how like that whole Marvel thing came together. And he just asked me like, you know, how are you doing? Like, he was really really caring. Very, like, everything that you would hear bad about him isn't true. Like, to me at least, you know, like, he's very like I'm trying to describe how he is. He's genuine, very like insightful to see like what you're thinking and stuff. And I was on my best behavior the whole time. Like, I'm in the corner just like sitting, just waiting to be spoken to. I'm not trying to go over anything. I'm like, all right, listening to the music. He's looking at me for my reaction,
living in the present,
living in the moment. And in the meantime, my phone is just going ballistic. I had it on vibrate, and it's just never.
So you didn't know that he posted the video?
I didn't know he posted the video.
While you guys were sitting in the studio?
While we were sitting, I didn't know.
So he did it and immediately posted it?
He immediately posted it, and my phone is just vibrating the whole time, and I'm like, why? What's going on? Like, why is my phone like consistently vibrating right now? And I just had to look at it, and I just glanced at it, and I'm like, oh wow, you know, like he posted it, and everyone to like. People I've never spoken to since I was like in the 3rd grade were like calling me up and stuff or whatever, you know. But it was nice. Like I really, you know, I enjoyed that. But I kept my phone like in my pocket, and then he plays a beat, and I start getting enough courage to like kind of like start mumbling some words and stuff because he said he wanted to hear how I sounded on him. So I started like kind of freestyling a little bit, getting like a feeling for the song. He's like, and he's like, I like that. And then he starts playing off of my last word, and we had like a mini little back and forth thing going on or whatever. And so then his people like got all my information and stuff, and they, you know, he kept his promise to me. You know, he did some things for me that, you know, I can't like fully talk about. They made me sign like a non-disclosure and stuff, but he definitely kept his promise, and it was one of the greatest experiences of my life, and I will never allow anyone to say anything bad about him in front of me, because there's no way. There's no way. That guy. So then when that happened, that post happened, everyone reached out to help me. Everybody. Everyone was like, you can stay with me, you can stay with me. And one of Kanye's people was trying to look for a place for me to stay as well. But then I just chose the best one, people that I kind of felt more like close to. I'm like, I'll stay here. I used that money I saved to get my car fixed, and then I was back on my feet again. like a God-given miracle. It was a blessing. It was a blessing. Like there's no.
Like I'm literally hot, like
Right.
listening to your story. Like it's such an act of God, but it's just so incredible as an artist to have both of those experiences just like line up the way that they did. That is just so incredible. I definitely want to talk more about. Gotta cut this break, but that is just so incredible. You know,
Yeah,
like
no.
I like that story is so raw
It's
and
such a
real, and I think
testimony.
that so many people would want to like hear that because at the end of the day, it's like a lot of people do lose hope. A lot of people do give up, and it's like you was down to nothing, and you just. It came up to me. That's so crazy. I'm
Yeah,
gonna cut it right now.
Yeah,
We gonna
for
load
sure.
this because I gotta edit some of it. But this is just crazy.
Yeah, no, thank you. Thank you. I'm
Absolutely.
getting
Thank
hot.
you
I'm
for
getting
thank
hot.
you for sharing that with
Yeah,
us.
For
I'm
sure.
getting hot too, just reliving it right now. It's just like it's crazy.
Wish I could fix it all to make it back to before. Going crazy, so crazy, danger mouse to see low. See before, fake perception, yeah, this fake perception. To never show no love, so we keep neglecting. Pray to God every night like I need perfection. Pray to God every night like I need direction. Been about a year now, I'm just reconnecting.
Top 20 countdown. Your girl DJ MK, Brittany and Lee still hanging out. with My boy Nino Blu. Yo, Nino Blu has successfully just you just take away any stereotype, anything that people say you can't do, man. Like thank you so much for sharing your story about meeting Kanye, being in the studio with Kanye, and just moving forward, just like as an artist and doing your thing. So what are you doing now since that happened? I mean, I can imagine you have this whole another level of inspiration going on.
Right now, like from the music that Kanye showed me, it just told me to myself like I need to outwork this man, you know, like I need to like, he showed me like his process. He was recording in front of me. He was doing his process in front of me. I saw his writing process. So like I like took bits and pieces of that and I want to apply it to my writing process.
Taking a couple pages out of his book.
Yeah, and he doesn't write anything down.
I knew that.
He doesn't write anything down.
Him and Jay-Z, they don't memorize everything.
Yeah, they don't write anything
or
down.
they just come off the top of their head.
Yeah, so I just really want to focus on making the best music I can make, and I want to just, be more open in my music about my feelings and my thoughts, and I really want to do something that will just help people, because that's what I noticed in Kanye's music. I was like, his albums really helped me get through my life,
Absolutely.
So if I can do the same thing for somebody else to get through their life, that's really the gift for me, like I want somebody, a kid on the school bus in middle school or high school to listen to my music and be like, man, like I relate to that guy, like I can get through my day, I can go to the gym, I just want to help people, man, like, and that's my goal right now, is making the best music possible. So I'm linking with every producer I can. I've gone to Miami, worked with some producers out there, shout out to Josh. I've also been in Washington, I've gone, in New York. Every producer, my email is flooded with beats right now. Everyone's sending me beats like crazy. So now I'm just being very like, just very picky with like what I'm gonna choose to put out to the world, But it's gonna be good.
I'm not mad at that. You also have a song, Getaway, that we're going to get into in a second, right?
Oh, yeah.
This is a brand new song.
Yeah. I recorded that in Miami actually like 4 days ago. And it's like kind of like a rough draft or whatever. Like there's some little tweaks in the second verse I'm going to change and some ad-libs are going to lower, but I didn't have anything that didn't have any cursing in it. So like, it's like the only thing that didn't have any curse words in it. So I was like, perfect. It's like brand new or whatever, but it's not mixed at all, but it's like a cool little like sneak peek and stuff for people to
Giving
see.
us the new.
Yeah,
All right,
just
the
a little
new.
something.
I like that. Listen, we're going to get into it right now. Less than 10 minutes away, we're going to iHeartRadio some new music from my homie Nino Blu. Keep it live.
Thank you.
Salute to my dog Nino Blu.
My man Nino Blu. You already know what time it is.
I respect his ambition. I respect his grind. I respect his hustle. I see you, bro.
This is a guy who grew up on hip hop, who loves hip hop, who studied it, appreciates the culture, and then turns around and gives back.
Tonight, inside of the Beachum Top 20 Countdown, your girl DJ MK in here, Brittany Elise. What's up, Brittany?
What's up?
Brittany been kind of quiet, taking in all this good testimony.
It's
all
the
this
first
good
Sunday of the
words.
year. I went to church, and then I got a testimony from my homie Nino Blu. I'm feeling good in 2019.
Amen. It is Sunday. Yes, Lord.
Yes, Lord.
Shout out to the homie Anderson Pac. Listen, so we still got Nino Blu in here, and we were just talking about, how, like, people don't understand, you had this super viral moment where Kanye West posted you on his Instagram page. Like, that happens to, like, 1 in a million people ever in life.
Yeah.
And then, like, people don't know. We know you from Orlando. We know you from coming through here, doing the Freestyle Friday, coming through the station. I've DJ'd at least, like, 30 open mic events at Soundbar, Back Booth, like, in a matter of I don't know what, 4 years, and man,
Yeah.
like you've been a part of everyone. And you know what I love too is even if you weren't there performing as an artist, you were always there supporting other artists and just being in the building and just saying, hey, and like you just always just been on your grind. And so it's like when this happened, everyone saw you. It's like what I love seeing in all your comments was like, oh man, no one deserves it more than Nino. Like he's been on his grind, he's been out here, he's been resilient. You took this, we'll say this sabbatical to New York.
Yeah.
And you was out here ready to, focus on something, and life just took you in a completely different direction. You got new music on the way, and I guess like what would be some advice for artists? Because a lot of new artists are getting a lot of viral love, and they just the grind's not there, right? So what would your advice be to just like young artists that are out here doing some things wrong or doing things right? Like what would you say?
I would say to artists, it's tough because like I feel like me giving advice on like what I did, it's almost like what I did may not work for you.
Absolutely.
And like what I say.
But it proves the importance of grinding and being on your grind and just putting yourself in the right place at the right time to make those things happen, which I think you always have done a great job.
And having faith that it will happen. I think that's something that you've always had is like I believe that I know you believe in yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
For
sometimes
sure.
that's something for an artist that I don't know. Sometimes you go back and forth in your head like, am I good? Am I this? And I think that's something that artists battle with early on, but that's something that I don't think you've ever battled with. Like we were saying earlier, like you're just resilient.
Yeah, no, I battle with that. Like there's some, I have my low moments where like sometimes I'm like, man, like what's gonna happen next? Like, is this really for me? Like, but then it's
you
like
don't
also,
show it. You keep it calm, cool, collected.
I just have like this fear of failure. Like I can't fail. If I fail, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
There's no plan B.
Like, there is no plan B. There is no plan B at all whatsoever. So that's like that's how sick my stomach gets or my mind gets. I'm like, man, like if I fail, like it's like I'm really gonna hit rock bottom. So I need to do whatever it takes to make it. And to any advice to any artists out there that I can give, especially to my hometown Orlando, is like, man, like it sounds cheesy, but just like really follow your heart, because it never let me down. Ever. If your gut tells you something doesn't feel right, it's not right. If your gut tells you to do something, just act on it. Because honestly, it's like you don't know where that's going to lead you. And also another thing is like advice to artists is like be kind to every single person you meet. Because you just don't know what
they're going through.
You don't know what someone's going through, but also you don't know who is really going to be that person that's going to link you in a situation at all whatsoever. Some people will just like strike for like, oh, if you're not the biggest thing ever, I don't want to talk to you. Like, talk to everyone. I do my best to answer all my DMs, all like people. I try to talk to everybody, and just simple networking helps a lot. And that's where this is where I wanted to tell you is that, all right, so you guys started doing your Freestyle Fridays here. And first I want to say that I appreciate both of you, and I think you guys need to get a lot more credit for what you've done for the city. I feel I've seen you two really help artists develop themselves, and you always give artists a voice and stuff, and I think that's really important. And I just want you to know on behalf of me and other artists here, I'm sure, that we appreciate you guys.
Just want everyone back there to know that if you have a dream or you have anything that you feel like you're pursuing, keep going for that shit to the very end, because you don't know what potentially could happen. The universe works in very mysterious ways, and I feel extremely blessed for Kanye West to help me out with this.
All love.